that released a couple of years ago called Strange Horticulture, which I played before I started this ASMR channel, although I think it is a very good game, and I'm hoping that Strange Antiquities lives up to its predecessor. Like I mentioned, I was sent a key for this, although this isn't a sponsored video or anything. The game came out earlier this week, so it's very new, and I'm super excited to try it out. The Steam description says, become the custodian of a store dealing in occult antiquities. Explore the quaint and gloomy town of Underre, where strange goings on and dark mysteries abound. Find and identify arcane artifacts. Use your collection to aid the townsfolk with their unusual problems. And remember to pet your cat. So it sounds super interesting and very much the vibe that I like in these kinds of games. So, shall we jump into the game and see what it's all about? Here we go. As a thaumaturge's apprentice, there is a lot to learn. Every object must be treated with care, and it is important to identify the harmful from the harmless, the potent from the mild. It was only supposed to be a temporary arrangement when Eli left the shop. Strange antiquities in my hands. None of us knew that by then the pendulum was already swinging, with a terrible certainty that could not be stopped. The ravens were an omen, a circling unkindness of black wings and cheerless cries that seemed, even then, to signal the start of a rising dread. Definitely an intriguing opening, and I love the style. And here we are behind the counter of Strange Antiquities. I can see a bunch of strange antiquities on the shelves here. Little curios and artifacts. Oh, I think I'm getting ahead of myself by clicking around. We also have an adorable cat, who we can pet. So cute. Okay, I really want to go poking around with all of these oddities that we can see, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and hit the bell here. Ding. Here we have Eli White. I have been called away to assist in an urgent matter in Raven class, and must leave at once. I am leaving the shop in your care with some reluctance, I might add. Make use of my reference materials. Here, take this. There's an index in the back. useful to you. If in doubt, study it carefully. And remember that there are some powerful artifacts here. Under no circumstances should you seek entry to any locked doors, drawers, or cupboards. In fact, safest not to touch anything at all. I should be back in a few days. Okay. Use the arrow keys or WASD to navigate your shop. Okay, we have some locked artifacts there. And some more on our right. And below us we have a board with some small drawers around the place. Before I go looking around, shall we check out this book? Let me open it. Do I need to take it down? Yep. It is called Strange Artifacts, a Guide to Occult Objects by T.S. Gill. Let's open it up. Okay. We have a list of various artifacts here, like the Hunter's Boon, the Horned Shackle, and a Heart Chamber. And at the back, we have an index, curse referenced in Lamb's Siphon, feeling referenced in Binding Seed. Very interesting stuff. Although I think I will forego reading it all right now until I know what I'm doing with it. I just clicked the eye in the middle of our board and it seems to be a button. There's definitely something strange going on with this board in front of us. It's like a desk. It has loads of symbols around the outside. Some of which look a bit like alchemical symbols. And we have some drawers as well. Oh. Okay. I recognize some of these features from the first game, Strange Horticulture. But I won't go into them right now. What's this? Okay. And I don't think I will be inspecting any artifacts right away, but I will try and remember that they are there. Here we have a button that seems like it would go into one of these blank spaces on the board. And we have a reminder. I've stored a couple of items in the cellar of that wine merchant next door. Sure. I wonder how we get there. Here's another note. On Thormic fields, all Thormic objects produce a field of sorts. Although invisible to the naked eye, they can be observed by placing an object over a Thormic lens. A diurnic field pattern is illustrated here. These fields are not fully understood despite attempts to study them over the years. Okay. And we do also have the same symbol in the middle of our board on this paper. Keep that there. Oh, and we have found the magnifying glass. You can use Shift to bring up the magnifying glass. That's helpful. I can't spot any other drawers right away. There might be hidden some sort of talisman to put in the middle. By the looks of it, I'm going to close that for now. Man, there's so much to click and look around. I love this. Here's a button. It spins the clock face into like a lunar clock. What have we got on our right? I have a set of scales here. And what about this locked section? I'm sure there are some very interesting artifacts locked behind this gate. For now though, shall we, I was gonna go ahead and ring the bell, but I've just spotted an exclamation mark. Oh, we have some profiles. The thaumaturge, Eli White. Eli is a thaumaturge, a collector and curator of powerful objects. Objects that, to the untrained eye, may appear dull and lifeless, but that in the right hands and armed with the right knowledge can be a gateway to so much more. For Eli, the quest to unearth and understand each new object has been the driving force of his adult life. As owner of strange antiquities, Eli is a stern master. He knows firsthand what can happen if the right precautions are not taken. He doesn't tend to show much emotion, but he does have a more tender side, a side that is mostly reserved for this store's cat, Jupiter. And we have a copy of the conversation we had with Eli this morning. And we have Jupiter here. Wow, devourer of souls, Jupiter. Jupiter is the thaumaturge's cat, or more accurately, Eli is Jupiter's thaumaturge. Jupiter found strange antiquities, perhaps drawn to the curiosities within, and made it his home. Eli was more than happy to accommodate him, but he learned early on that Jupiter was his own master. His business is his own, but it largely consists of regular naps, terrorizing rodents, and midnight explorations of Underre and beyond. What he does on his excursions is a mystery, but he seems to be well known among the town's residents. So cute, so cute. Okay. Right, let's go ahead and ring this bell then and see if we have a customer to help. Thomas Pope. Congratulations. Today is the day you meet the great Thomas Pope. That's me. I'm a man of two loves, fresh mountain air and a little white dog called Hamish. But I reserve some room for laughter among friends and shops with cats in them. If you would be so kind, I'm looking for a replacement for my hunter's boon. Use right-click on items to inspect them. Okay, so I think we need to reference our book to see what kind of item we might have that would match the hunter's boon artifact that Thomas is looking for. A hunter's boon is a primitive item. They grant the power of the predator, enhancing perception and agility. They are made from trophies taken from slain beasts, with those from the deadliest predators being the most prized. They are simple items without embellishment. Okay, what have we got then? So, we are going to be looking for some kind of item that will have been taken from a beast. And I think I can spot one on the left is a yellowy brown at the base and a yellowy white colour at the tip. Sense of touch. It is smooth but with hard ridges at the base and smooth at the tip. Nothing to remark when it comes to scent or sound, and it gives me a sensation of power. So I feel pretty confident that this is a hunter's boon. We can give it like a label, with a colour, a shape and an icon. Or lots here to pick from. This looks kind of huntery. Let's make it like a red. And I like that. Oops. Oh, I went to go do a new line, but I finalized the entry. Hunters. Boon. Perfect. I wonder how the labeling works, whether we have like a stock of these. Because if we're giving it to this guy, I might have just wasted my time labeling it. Maybe I'm supposed to do like some investigation in my free time to see what items we have. But yeah, I'm gonna give it to this guy. Boop. There you go. Perfect. Hunter's boon. This is a tiger's tooth, a trophy from a predator. On closer inspection, it gives a sensation of power. Perfect. Selenic totem. These carved totems, more commonly known as moon hearts, can be imbued with a sentiment or feeling, such as love or joy, and then held tightly to recall the same feeling. They sometimes feature crescent shapes associated with both the Selenic and Noctic disciplines. Indeed, the form of the item itself will often have a connection to either the moon or the night. Some new book content we've discovered. Okay, perfect. Cool. So it does look like we have a stock of each item. So it would be worth identifying them as we go and making sure that we label things properly. Great. Next customer, please. Jack Hungerford. The nights are drawing in again. Dark shadows hide dark deeds. Or so my father always used to say. Seems like the shadows have grown darker since he passed 2 winters gone. A creeping dark is set up in my house. I'm told a shadow hold will draw it out. Sure thing. Let me consult my book. Here we have a shadow hold. A shadow hold or Oshadic vessel, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, is a container of any kind, sometimes a jar or a bottle, or some sort of box. It can be used to contain an Oshadic spirit, the manifestation known as creeping dark, pulling it from the shadows like poison from a wound. They are decorated with an elaborate design called a shadow catcher. Okay, so we're looking for some kind of container with an elaborate design on it. I think I can spot one here. We do have a couple more things on our left and right though. No, I think it's going to be this bottle on our right. Let's we'll have a close-up view of the design. That seems to be very similar. And how about some inspections? It has a cork in the top and is hard and somewhat rough. There is a pungent smell coming from it, but there's nothing to remark when it comes to my inner perception. However, I am pretty confident that it is a shadow hold. Let's see what we've got here. How about this? How about this symbol here? I recognize this one from Binding of Isaac, I think. I think this is the symbol that goes with the Spirit of the Night item, I think. Shadow. Hold. Let's give it a nice shape and color. Yeah, that'll do, that'll do. And we will go ahead and hand it over to Jack. There you go. Perfect. We successfully identified it. The clues we had were that the item is a container of some kind, and that the design on the bottle is the same as the sketch. I don't remember it being exactly the same, but it was very similar at least. There you go. And we have some new book content. Sun bond. A sun bond is small and lightweight, designed to be carried discreetly, and made of a non-precious metal of some kind, housing a gemstone of light. They carry the warmth and the light of the sun, a brightness that can pierce the darkest gloom. Great. There's an auto-labeling option in the settings if adding labels by hand isn't your thing. I'm enjoying adding the labels so far, so I'm going to stick with this. We've served quite a few customers already, and it is 3:05. I'm assuming in the afternoon. I wonder when we shut our shop for the night. Let's pick up a new customer. David Chafer. What's with all these ravens flying about Underre today? I can't remember ever seeing anything like it. Not a good day to be the sort who believes in dark omens. A letter for you. He's the postman. What have we got? We discovered some papers in a hidden desk drawer in the boat yard last night. Mr. Jones almost threw them in the fire pit, but I asked to take a look at them first. That man does like to burn things. They look old. Maybe there's nothing of much use here, but I thought of you when I came across an entry on the shin. Charlie Weathers. Thank you, Charlie. Did they send us the papers as well? I don't think so. I can't imagine that letter will be very useful. Can we store it away in a drawer? Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's pick up a new customer. Stanley Hume. I want an Ossic ring. Ossic. That's a pleasing word to hold on the tongue. Interesting, he seems to be holding on to some of his letters. Ossic ring. Let's consult the book and see what we're looking for. I'll put the shadow hold back. There we go. Okay, here we are, Ossic ring. These somewhat macabre objects were originally made as offerings to the goddess Gorgen, or Gorgen maybe, but the practice fell out of favour as belief waned. They are hard to come across now, but they are occasionally sought out for their ability to keep vermin at bay. Luckily we have Jupiter the cat here to help us with that. Some say that they can hear aliens' unearthly hiss when they hold an ossic ring up to their ear. Interesting, interesting. I didn't want to make any judgments, but I was gonna say that the way this guy dwells on the S's and the final letters of the words is a little bit sneaky. That's a pleasing word. I'm not going to read into that too much. So, we are looking for a ring that when we hold it up to our ear, we can hear some hissing. There's a ring on this weird hand. It seems like they are a package deal though. This is almost ring-shaped. It looks more like a bracelet though. I am gonna try and listen to it. Yeah, no scent and no sound. Let's put that back. Is this a ring? I can see like a ring-shaped thing behind this locked gate. Anything else? I'm gonna grab this hand. We'll take a look. I was expecting it to smell worse than it does, but no remark as to its sound. That's kind of ring-shaped. Let's listen to it. Oh. Okay. When it said ring, I was thinking of like a ring you'd wear on your finger. But I guess that is just a ring of some kind. Although this bone going across the middle won't help if we wanted to put it on our finger. I'm pretty confident already, but let's just take a look through the rest of the features. It is made of bone, yellowed white, and some kind of brown twine tying all of the small bones together. The bones are hard and somewhat rough, whereas the twine is made of coarse fibers. A soft sound like a serpent's whisper emanates from within. Yeah. And it has some kind of evil quality to it. I do not like to hold it. I am very confident that we have found the Ossic ring. Let's see if we can find some matching symbols. Well, the circular one seems to make sense. And let's see if we've got anything here. One of these would be nice. Yeah, let's go with that spiral. Unless there's a better one. No, I think we'll just go with the spiral for the Ossic ring. We'll hand this over to Stanley. Here you go. Perfect. We successfully identified the Ossic ring. Our clues were that it was made of bone. This item satisfies the description macabre, and closer inspection confirms that a hissing noise can indeed be heard. There you go. We have some new book content. Evocant. These stone items weigh the same as a man's heart. According to a popular myth, the truth is a little less dramatic, but the weight of these items is nevertheless important, and should not stray more than a hair from precisely 1 pound. They are placed on the chest of those in a coma to draw them out. Okay, we can pick up another customer then. Edmund Bishop. The behavior of these ravens is disturbing to say the least. As a rule, they only come together to feed. Ravens are omnivores, carrion eaters mostly, but they'll take anything they can get their talons into. And they'll kill if necessary. I didn't plan on dropping in today, but there's something happening out there, and I'd like to know what. A voice of Cernunnos might help put me at ease, or it might do the opposite. Some of these names are, somewhat unfamiliar to me, so I'm sorry if I've mispronounced anything. I do know, although I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I've played a little bit of the video game Smite, and Cernunnos was in it. I think he was like a forest, like a satyr kind of thing. Edmund Bishop is seemingly important enough to get logged in our book. The Ornithologist, the 14th Lord of Cleaston Castle, is a man of wealth and privilege like the 13 before him. He is a man who would be easy to despise, as his father was, but he is well loved by those who know him. Now retired, he was a professor of ancient languages at the University of Cumbria, but his real passion is birds. His students learned to divert particularly dense lectures on Latin declension by asking about local owl species or by quizzing the professor on increasingly exotic bird calls. Edmund was only too happy to oblige, spending hours recounting stories of his adventures in Africa and New Zealand. Sure. Okay. Let's check back in our book. Voice of Cernunnos. The name Voice of Cernunnos is used to refer to any bronze, torque, that has certain imbued properties. With skill, such an item can be used to read the patterns of nature that are otherwise hidden to us. Cernunnos is a pagan god of the forest and nature, typically depicted as a man with the antlers of a stag, and often wearing or holding a torque. I think we potentially picked this up on our hunt for the Ossic ring. And I think it could be this up here. Let's do some investigation. It does have a bronzy colour, but if we inspect it, we should get a better idea. Yep. This is made of bronze. It is an uneven texture. I can see it looks a bit like a cord, but it is bronze, of course. There's nothing remarkable about the scent or sound, or about the inner perception, so the only thing we have to go on is the fact that it is bronze. And although I don't strictly know what a torque is, I think it might be some kind of necklace, some kind of neck item based on the picture here. So let's go ahead and say that this is the voice. Oh. Is it like that? Yep. And let me just pick some nice colors. So a nice green makes sense. Although this green ends up being a bit more blue than it looks in this circle, that is okay. Let's do something nice and round. And a symbol for nature, about we go for that then? Great. Let's hand this over. Perfect, perfect, perfect. The clues that we had to identify it were that it is made of bronze, and a similar looking item appears around the neck of Cernonos in the sketch. Okay, cool. And we have some more book content. A spirit eye. There are some who stay away from spirit eyes, believing them to be a window into a world that should not be seen. And others who deride their fear is nothing more than superstition. It is not clear exactly what they do show. Another layer beneath the visible world, perhaps. A layer that requires something more than traditional senses to experience. They draw their power from the opposing symbols inscribed upon them. Very interesting. Very interesting. I'm not sure that this clock is accurate. We served like 2 customers in less than a minute. But it is the end of the day here. We've closed up the shop. Let's go and end the day. End of day 1. The black mare thundered through the icy rain. Shining wet in the silver moonlight, her cloaked rider was exhausted, cold, and soaked to the bone. He knew he would not survive the night if he did not reach Back Barrow. How interesting. Oh, what's going on up here? I'm moving my mouse around this symbol. It's got quite a nice roaring sound, like a fire. What is it? What is it? What is it? There we go. Oh, some shackles. An escaped prisoner ran northwest. He hid me in the first building he came to. I love how kind of obscure and esoteric everything is. Very cool. I'm not really sure what this card is about though. I'll put it here. I guess if we have some time to explore, we could head to the northwest to see if we can find the item that the prisoner hid. Oh look, it's a lovely bright sunny day. I'll click on explore and see what this is about. So, where are we? Oh look, strange horticulture is on the map, number 2 just there. Could we visit if we wanted to? Oh. Friday, strange horticulture. This curious plant shop on the edge of town is a quiet haven away from the bustle of the centre. Ordinarily I'd be delighted to while away some time there, but I have important work to do. And yet, an hour later, I find myself leaving the shop with a potted palliance and a weight off my shoulders. I've been chatting with the proprietor about the similarities and differences between our 2 disciplines, with a gently purring hellebore, maybe, curled up in my lap. Okay. Oh, we have a plant. Is this the... It doesn't seem to be an artifact that is useful for us, but I can put it here to decorate the shop. Put it there. Did that use up any time? Any time? I can click some of these areas that aren't on the key. It's 20 the bit. I was looking for our shop. Strange Antiquities 29. We're down here. I remembered that Eli said we had some items stored in the wine cellar of our neighbour, I think. So what if I click here? The proprietor, a Mrs. Cranmore, begrudgingly grants me access to the cellar when I explain that I'm from Strange Antiquities next door. Yes, well, take the lot of them out of here, would you? I can't say no to Eli after all he's done for me. But I don't like the thought of those unnaturals in my cellar. What have we got? Oh, we have 3 new items. Very nice. Let's put them on our shelves, ready to go. I wonder if we can explore as much as we like. Unless I'm missing some kind of counter. It said that a prisoner ran northwest and he hit me in the first building he came to. So, northwest is in the top left direction. Can we find a prison here? There's a church, Calgarth Hall, Stockside Rock, the boatyard, Jacob's Folly, Library, Royston Farm. It might be better if I run through the key actually. We have a church, hospital, woodhouse. The old jail could be it. Number 10. Anything else? History in the spoken word, Keystone Manor, Market Square, the Town Hall, the Blacksmith Governor. The courtyard. So the old jail is the only one that really fits the bill. And if a prisoner escaped and ran northwest, it would potentially be this small corner building here, or I guess depending on which side of the building they came out on, it could be this top one or this left one. I'm going to click this small corner one first. This doesn't seem right. There's nothing here. Okay. Oh, what was this? I have a growing fear deep within me. I cannot let it take hold. I see. By failing like an investigation, it seemed like my fear grew. Let's try one of the other buildings then. I think maybe I'll just try this top one. There we go. We got an achievement for solving our first clue card. The dilapidated warehouse is dark and imposing, and the struggling flame of my lantern does little to pierce its depths. I slowly search through its contents with a sense of despair, wondering if I'm even in the right place at all. When suddenly and unexpectedly, I uncover something of value. More relieved than elated, I take the trinket back to the shop for further study and a warm drink. Whoa, that's ominous. It looks very spooky. I'm not gonna investigate it right away. I think, let me see here, so that, we have a helpful tick to remind us that we have done that one. So I'll put that back there. This was a clue, I think, for us to visit the boatyard. And this was the map. These are extra artifacts. I think I should put them on display now so that I don't forget about them. Put them there. There we go. And let's head to the boatyard to see if we can pick up those papers that we were told about. Explore. And the Merry Bell. Is that the boatyard? Here it is. The boatyard. The yard has seen better days. A mess of broken and rotten timber covers most of the outdoor space that isn't taken up by upturned boats, slowly being claimed by the weeds. In the middle of all of this, a man looks up from repairing a small rowing boat. "You must be from strange antiquities," he says with a smile. He takes me into the dilapidated office where 2 metal buckets collect drips of brown water, and a thin window pane rattles with every footstep. He pulls a sheaf of brown papers out of a desk drawer and places them gently in my hands. Oh, we've got some new book contents. Oops. I clicked them and they went into our book. It'll be helpful though, I'm sure. Apparently as an afterthought, and somewhat reluctantly, the man gives me something else as I'm leaving. "I've no use for it," he says. "Don't even know what it's for." "Interesting, I will certainly take it off of your hands." Let's put it there on our shelf. So I suppose if we wanted to, we could maybe visit some of these named areas. And if we had the correct clues, we could potentially visit some of these unnamed areas. However, if we go somewhere and it's a waste of time, we gain some fear. So I think it might be worth just taking on a few extra customers. What's this about though? It looks like there is a repeating sequence as we go around the table. I spotted this same symbol. I think it's the symbol for Venus. I think one of the planetary ones. I'm pretty sure. I spotted it up here in the top right, and it goes this symbol, then like 2 triangles overlapping, then a circle and a crescent moon, and it matches up down here as well. So I think it would go there, and we're looking for the 2 triangles overlapping to go in this space, and the circle with the horns to go in that one. For now though, let's pick up a new customer. Verona Green. Well, that's just perfect. Underre fizzing with fear of these ravens, and the thaumaturge has left his apprentice in charge. "Sorry, my dear, that was rude. Pay no attention to me. I'm an old lady who got out of the wrong side of bed. These ravens have got under my skin is all. Please do let Eli know that I was looking for him next time you see him. And pass on my thanks for letting me borrow his copy of Hermetic Symbology." "Sure, will do." Oh, it's a new book for us. Shall we take a quick look? It's Hermetic Symbology by Quentin Holmes. Thaumic disciplines. There are 3 branches of thaumaturgy. Each of these is split into 2 disciplines, represented by the following symbols. We have celestial, Selenic of the moon, and Dradic of the earth. Diurnal, of which we have diurnal of the day and noctic of the night, and individual, mentic of the mind, and wixic of the body. And we have a load of different imbuements here as well. These match up to some of the symbols we saw. I wonder if maybe it would be more helpful to match up the symbols based on their meanings rather than what they look like. Oh, that symbol I was looking at earlier is the one for antimony. Interesting. I could look through that all day. I'm sure it will useful at some point, but I'm going to put it on the shelf for now. And let's see if we can pick up a new customer. Tess Sherwood. I feel paralyzed. I have no job, no partner, no friends, no prospects. I heard a horned shackle might be the answer. Sure. Let's take our artifacts book and we all look for the horned shackle. Okay, here it is. Horned shackles are used to bring about change in one's life, bestowing the ability to overcome personal demons. In use, the horns are rubbed between one's fingers, causing them to become worn smooth over the years. They can be worn as pendants, but are more commonly totems of some kind. And here we have an example of an elaborate horned shackle. Okay, so, as the name implies, we will be looking for something with horns that are potentially rubbed smooth. Potentially, as well, also a kind of pendant that they would wear around their neck. So, one of these ones hanging up could be promising. This one's got horns. Let me grab it. This one up here has also got horns, but they are definitely textured. Shall we investigate this one? It's also got a symbol on it. I wonder if we could find the symbol in our book. It's two diamonds overlapping slightly. Anything here? I would be hoping to see that it is a symbol that matches something to do with change. I found the symbol. It is protection, which I am not sure is too relevant here. I'll investigate it anyway, just in case. There's nothing to remark about the colour or the composition. It is hard and somewhat rough on the horned part, with a rough fabric tying it on, and some engraved detailing on a hard and cool item in the middle. Nothing about its scent and sound is remarkable, and also nothing to do with my inner perception. So, I don't think that's what we're looking for, unfortunately. Potentially anything else. Maybe we could look at this one. Even though the horns don't look smooth, perhaps it's just an unused horned shackle. Let's see. When I'm on the inner perception. I'm on the inner perception section, and I have a strong sense of being watched. It is made of bronze. The center is smooth, but the horns are ridged, and there's nothing interesting about its scent or smell. So I'm not sure that is what we're looking for. We're looking for some kind of protection. Maybe being watched counts. They can be worn as pendants, but are more commonly totems. Okay. I think maybe I was looking at the wrong kind of things. Shall we look at the totems now? How about this one? It has a kind of horn. Unremarkable scent and sound, though. This one says, I am overcome by a warm, loving emotion. Oops. It is a light-coloured wood, and it is polished. I don't think that is what we're looking for. Maybe one of these ones. Shall we check this coat? Unremarkable for the inner perception, no scent or sound. It's rough and pitted, however the horns do feel smooth. This could be promising, and it is made of wood. Let me check this other totem. It is made of clay. It is textured, but the horns are pointy. Unremarkable scent and sound, and there's nothing with regards to the inner perception. So I'm leaning towards this being the horned shackle. The only things we've got to go on here though are the fact that the horns are smooth compared to the rest of the totem. And it is a kind of totem, but we're not getting any kind of supernatural sense from it. I think I might, I'll try and give it to her and see what she thinks. Oh, perfect, perfect. The clues that we picked up on whether the item has horns, and on closer inspection, the horns have been worn smooth. And we have a new book content, Vesicure. A vesicure can be used to prevent the spread of disease and pestilence. Among other oddities, flames burn pale blue in their presence. Let me label this one. I wonder if we can find a symbol that would match, like a change. Maybe life, the infinity one. Mercury could be a good one as well. That's quite a changeable element. Yeah, I might give it the Mercury symbol, which is one of these ones, I think. Forgotten what it is. Was it this one? I might have to consult the book again. Let me see that. We'll double check. There we go. Mercury. It's like the top half of a stick figure with some horns on it. What did I pick? I picked the symbol for platinum. Top half of a stick figure. Here it is. Horned shackle. There we go. And let's pick. This looks kind of horned. Actually, I like that one. And let's do a nice bluey purple. Perfect. I can put that back on my shelf. Let's see who the next customer is. It's the postman, David Schaefer. At least the weather's looking a little better out there today. It sure is. Have you got any letters for me? He does. What's this? Good day. You might be interested to hear that my plough overturned a strange-looking object yesterday. Come to the farm and it's yours. For the right price, of course. Kind regards, John Royston. I might check that out now. I also remember we have this. And I wonder if we have an item now that would fit in there. I don't know if it's worth just trying to guess based on shape though. We might mess something up if we put in the wrong item. It doesn't look like we have anything that matches anyway. And I've also noticed some symbols around here that match those that we have seen before. Like these two diamonds. These two diamonds are overlapping this is one as well, although I can't remember what they are. See if we can find it, see if we can find it. Oops, not there, let's check again, Two diamonds overlapping. Protection. Okay, sure. We have like a protection imbuement on our desk, which is nice. It doesn't look like this little symbol below the clock is included anywhere though. Maybe it doesn't mean anything. Right, shall we see if we can find Mr. Royston's farm? Here, 30 Royston Farm, down here. John grins as I struggle to hide my obvious interest in the item he shows me. Any hope that he might not be fully aware of its value quickly evaporates. And after a lengthy negotiation, I reluctantly hand over the amount he originally asked for. But look at this, we have potentially ominously some kind of raven talisman. Let me file the farmer's letter away in my completed drawer, and we'll check the next customer. Julia Braddock. Jupiter, we meet again. Our paths crossed late last night on Princess Street. We shared a moment before he slunk off into the dark on important business, no doubt. I wonder if you can help me. I'm visiting my grandmother later and I wanted to bring her something. She lives all alone on the edge of town, out on Clanbrook Road, and I don't always manage to get out there as often as I'd like. I thought maybe a moon heart would bring her some comfort. Okay. Moon heart. Is that in our book? There's an index in the back that may be useful for you. So we don't seem to have a moon heart in our contents. Although I think I remember seeing it when we read the Selenic Totem page. Yeah, look, moon hearts. Otherwise we could go back to the contents and look for maybe comfort. Love. Oh, look here, moon heart included in Selenic Totem. Okay, so we did read this, I think, when we picked it up for the book. You need the form again. So we're looking for an item that has a form with a connection to either the moon or the night, and it should be bringing us some kind of love or joy as a feeling. Let's see what we've got. I think maybe we checked one of these out on our hunt for one of our other objects. Was it this owl? This owl is bringing us a warm, loving emotion, and its kind of headpiece is shaped like a crescent moon. So I feel like this could be the moon heart we're looking for. Here you go. Perfect. We picked up on a couple of clues. It is a carved totem. The owl is associated with the night. It bears a conceal the crescent shape. Using the closer inspect tool tells me it imparts a feeling of joy. And we have some new book content. Holgen Grimm. These eerie creations are worn by priests of Holgar in various rituals relating to death and the afterlife. The sacrament to ask for his protection, Wolf Song's truth to darkest judgment. Path of the warrior to help the dead find their way. Great, great. Where did my... Here it is. Shall we give it a symbol based on its feeling of love that it gives us? We have calm here that we could pick. Like a circle with a little antenna on top. Anything else? Anything else? No, I think we'll go with that one. So we'll give it a label here, and for the icon we will find the circle with the small antenna. There we go. And it was the Selenic totem. In brackets, moon art. There we go. And let's pick that with a nice moon, a cool moon color there. Perfect. Put it back on our shelf. Great. Next customer, please. Daisy Winters. A friend of mine, or former friend I should say, has been stealing jewelry from me. 3 necklaces have gone missing over the past few weeks, including one that was a gift from my late grandmother. Do you have a suitable pendant that I could leave lying out for her to find that will teach her a lesson and make sure it never happens again? I will need to make a choice here. There are no wrong answers, but my decisions will no doubt affect the events in motion outside my shop. Interesting. So it is highlighted an option between binding seed and Sia, or maybe Saya. Let's see what each of those are. So, binding seed. These items are made of 2 distinct materials, representing the mentic and the wixic. The mind and the body, the winding path. The mind is described by a spiral encompassing the body, the seed. A binding seed is a form of punishment that amplifies feelings of guilt and shame. The yew labyrinth at Castle Morrigan are larger than life. Binding seed. And the other option was the Sia, worn about the neck to place them closer to the heart. These innocent-looking items instill a sense of fear and paranoia. They can be difficult to remove. Sias are made of any single material except wood or clay. They typically have no symbol or other writings upon their surface. The Sia seems pretty, harsh. Of course, stealing is wrong. But perhaps just amplifying their guilt and shame could be enough for them to own up to what they've stolen and maybe give them back. I think I'm going to look for the binding seed, which is some kind of spiral encompassing a seed. Let's see. Does anything jump out? I think I've spotted one up here that could be perfect. So there is a dark wood, perhaps yew, surrounding a stone. The dark wood is rough and gnarled, and the stone is cool and smooth. There is no scent and no sound. However, I don't like how it makes me feel. So, certainly some feelings of guilt and shame could fit the bill. I'm pretty happy with this. It definitely looks like a spiral wrapped around something. Let's give it to her and see what she thinks. There you go. Perfect. We have identified the binding seed. It is an item made of 2 materials, wood and stone. It features a spiral surrounding a seed, in quotation marks. And with that we've picked up some new content. A shield charm. Generic charms of protection have little to offer the skilled thaumaturge, but can have some small effect. An Oshadic spirit or a wandering shroud will not abide to them, for example. Such charms make use of the art of symbology, an ancient and some would say primitive component of thaumaturgy. They can be made from a variety of materials, though rarely precious metals. Great. Let me mark the binding seed rather. Can we find the symbol for guilt or shame? Right at the beginning, calm, confusion, poison, truth, poison, fear, deception, so we don't really have a single imbuement for guilt or shame. We have a couple negative ones, like fear and weakness, truth. Anything else? Maybe I think I'll pick the I one, although it says it represents foresight. I think we could also say that it represents being watched. Like we know what you've done. Let's go for a red with a point. This pointy one here. And let's pick the eye. This is the binding seed. There we go. And we'll put it back on our shelf up there. Great. Who's next? We have Emmett Burrows. They found a man just now in that house where all them ravens were. I wish I hadn't seen, but I did. He was sheet white, but it was his eyes that are going to give me nightmares. All black they were. It was like you weren't there anymore. I don't need to wait around for another sign. I'm taking my family to Sedberg, and I'll be taking a libula to see us safely through. Libula, maybe. Let's check our book. Here it is. Libula. Libulae are purported to offer reassurance in times of upheaval and change, but they are not held in high regard by most scholars of the occult. That being said, an imbuement of wisdom shows that a libula is not merely decorative. There is power in symbology, as the old thaumaturges know well. Well, let's check our symbology book. Let's see, wisdom. Wisdom is like a crown, so we're going to be looking for an item with a crown carved into it. I'm just casting my eye over the shop, and I think I found it just up here. Let me inspect it a bit closer. It is made of bronze. It has some raised detailing, unremarkable scent and sound, and also there's nothing to remark when it comes to my inner perception. However, the symbol for wisdom is very, very clear, so I'm pretty happy handing this over. Here you go. Perfect. And as expected, the only clue was that the item bears a symbol of wisdom. Our new book content is for witches' fingers. Witches' fingers are said to be the severed digits of the Witch of Underre. They are capable of inflicting intense pain, but the goal is supposedly purification of the body, a most unpleasant experience, but a last resort that has cured some and finished off others. Great. Let me just quickly mark my lipula. Although it's got the symbol for wisdom pretty clear on top of it, I'm going to put it on the label as well. Here we go. Lipula. And I think we'll make it square-ish with that colour. Great. I'll put it back on the shelf. And that is the end of day 2. Let's go ahead and close up the shop. A deep pain radiated down the side of the rider's head, where he had sliced himself with the diverging hook, and his thoughts were scattered and torn. He could not see out of his left eye. Oh. What have we got here? Is this going to be the hook that we just read about? I'm not sure about that. It looks pretty angular. What have we got? Sure, continue that. Looks like the only clue for this one is a shape. And the book's opened up on Lamb's siphon. I don't know if that's because I accidentally clicked back though, yeah. Okay. So, day 3. Shall we start off by checking out the new character profile that we have here? It is for Verona Green, the occult scholar. She was the person who gave us the Hermetic Symbology book. Verona has been a constant in Underre for as long as the streets have had cobblestones, and the churches have had bell towers. She is respected and feared, which she revels in, and she is revered and admired, which she tolerates. Her knowledge of the occult world is second to none, and her expertise has steered the citizens of Underre away from catastrophe on more than one occasion. The near misses of the Selenic Flame and the Woken Dendru are 2 such events that spring to mind. She is of the opinion that no problem is so great, no obstacle so insurmountable, that it can't be diminished by a properly brewed pot of tea. Which is a great mindset to have. Okay, let's welcome our first visitor. Ding. We have Francesca Robertson. Good afternoon. No, morning. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. I'm Francesca Robertson, a doctor of sorts. I assume you heard about Mr. Hungerford. It seems to be the talk of the town already. I'm used to dealing with maladies of an occult nature, but black eyes are certainly unusual. I've heard of something like this before, but I don't see how it could be the same thing. Either way, I'm hopeful an evocant will have some effect. I don't remember hearing about Mr. Hungerford. It might just have slipped my mind, though. And Francesca has also let us know that it is the morning. Our clock shows 3 though. I wonder if it's accurate. We're up early in that case. So, we are looking for an evocant for Francesca. And we also have this card that we don't have much information on at the moment. Okay, evocant. Ah, yes. The stone items that supposedly weigh the same as a man's heart. This was one of the extra bits of book content we picked up, so we've already read this one. We are looking for, in that case, a stone item that weighs almost precisely a pound. We do have, just here, a set of scales. So if we put 1 pound on one side, then we are going to put another item on the other side and see if it weighs a pound. I remember this. Oh, it's clay actually, not stone. Not made of stone. We have a couple of interesting looking stone items here. This one's made of stone, but it has like a red rune painted on it. Let's see. The main body is made of stone, and the red symbol is potentially paint, or perhaps blood. It is hard and cool. There's nothing remarkable about the scent or sound, or the inner perception. Shall we weigh it just in case? Looks promising. It looks promising. It is almost exactly a pound. But what's this here? We have another item made mainly of stone, but it has what appears to be a fossilized creature poking out of the top. The stone is rough and pitted, and the fossilized creature is hard and ridged. Nothing remarkable about the scent or sound. However, I notice a slight out-of-body feeling, like my hands belong to someone else, when with my inner perception. We'll weigh it as well, but it is heavier than a pound. This strange totem looks promising. Shall we see if we can find the symbol in our hermetic symbology book? It could be useful. So we have like a swirl on the top and a bit sticking out at the bottom that kind of looks like an unknown from Pokemon. It's like a circle with a dot and a line above it. Let's see if we can spot anything. Maybe I don't see the full symbol in our book. It could be like a combination. We have a spiral here meaning spirituality. Here's a circle with a dot meaning summer. Otherwise, if this symbol doesn't mean anything to us, then we will be going off the fact that it is made of stone, and that it weighs almost exactly a pound. Shall we go with this then? Let's hand it over. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And we successfully found the clues that it is made of stone and that it weighs exactly 1 pound. And we have some book content. A dataless link. A dataless link is a powerful object capable of producing a levitation field. The field is extremely fragile, however, so it would be prudent not to take risks. These items are surprisingly light in weight. Their designs vary, but they might point to some facet of flight. A feather, or the wings of a bird or insect, for example. Okay, let's pick up our next customer. Temperance Parker. I had a quiet chat with Edmund Bishop in the Guilty Ram last night. He's always got an interesting story to tell, but last night he was different. I can tell he's worried, which has got me worried too. I know it's not much, but I'd like a shield charm all the same. Okay. I'm gonna have to consult our book. Oh, let me label the evocant first of all. Let's give it a nice purpley blue colour. About that one there. And for the icon, I'm not sure any of our hermetic symbols match the item exactly. So let's just pick a nice one. How about this circle with a dot? Okay, perfect. We'll put this back on our shelf. Where was it? There. And we will check our book for a shield charm. Here we go. Generic charms of protection have little to offer the skilled thaumaturge. This rings a bell actually. We picked this up as part of our extra book content, so we've read through it already. So we are going to look for a charm that uses the art of symbology to invoke some protection. Let's check our symbol book. Protection. Here we go. Protection is the 2 diamonds overlapping slightly. Let's see if we have an object with that symbol. I can spot it on this item. However, I've also spotted this one, which looks a lot more like a charm. I think we picked this up at some point when we were looking for another item, but let's inspect it again. So it's got a portion made of bone with some brown fabric of some sort, affixing it to a cheap metal of some kind, probably pewter. The pewter center is hard and cool with some engraved detailing. The bone is hard and somewhat rough, and the fabric is also rough. Unremarkable for scent and sound, and also nothing remarkable for the perception. I might check that other item we found, just in case. However, I can't spot anything else with the symbol of protection on it. There's also another symbol in the middle of this item. Shall we try and find that in the book as well? It looks a bit like 2 ears back to back. it's not jumping out at me. Anything on the first page? Oh. It is the symbol for insanity. I don't know that that would fit the bill for our shield charm. Let's check its characteristics though. So it is made of bronze. It is cool and smooth with some engraved symbols. It doesn't smell or sound like anything. However, my inner perception is picking up a sense of crackling energy, which flickers in the depths of my mind. A very interesting artifact. However, I think the other object we picked up is a lot more likely to be the shield charm we're looking for. It also notes that they can be made from a variety of metals, though rarely precious metals, so the fact that it is pewter also suggests it might be what we're looking for. I'm gonna hand it over. Perfect. We got an achievement for identifying 10 items. The only clue listed here is that the pendant has a symbol of protection, which we spotted. Okay. Some new book content. This is for St. John's Anvil. These items have much in common with the St. John's poppy plant of the same name, a fact that is reflected in their designs. They have quite different uses. However, whereas the plant helps to overcome deafness, an anvil will dampen sound. They can even be tuned to filter out certain noises, but allow others to be heard still. Okay, let's label the shield charm. First of all, the icon for protection makes sense to have here. This one. This label looks a bit like a shield, and let's do a nice bluey grey. Shield. Charm. Perfect. I will put that back on our shelf here. And let's welcome the next visitor. Hugh Langston. There's something I wanted to show you. I didn't like the look of it, so I left it where I found it. What if it's cursed? It was hanging behind an old shed, all overgrown with ivy. Let me draw a quick map for you. There. Perfect. Thank you for that, Hugh. Okay. That's the symbol for a church on maps. And we've got a bit of some woods just to the side. Shall we see if we can find that? Okay. That looks like a pond as well, maybe. Okay, let's see. My eyes are drawn down here to Underre Church. There's another one up here, High Green Church, but it doesn't seem to have any woods around it. This one here has some section of wood and like a small lake or something, and this small building that the note is pointing to. So I think we should head down here. The shed is actually a wooden summer house that looks out over the pond, but it's clear that it hasn't been used in some time. Thick brambles claw their way up and over one side of the structure, and ivy covers the rest in a mottled green cloak. I find what I'm looking for to the rear. Parts of the ivy have been torn away recently, revealing an amulet hanging from a rusted nail. Something else catches my eye as I reach for it, and I notice that there is another pendant hanging next to it, almost completely hidden by the ivy. Very nice. We have 2 new artifacts for our shop. This pendant with the leaf design reminds me a bit of this pendant, which I think was in one of our drawers. I'll just put that one down. Okay. Next customer, please. Verona Green. Eli's picked a bad time to leave Underre. I've come from the Hungerford house where I've been helping Dr. Robertson and looking for any clues about what happened there. There wasn't much to go on. I did find a shattered oceanic vessel, but whatever did this was no creeping dark. There was a strange black stain on the flagstone floor that I didn't like the look of. And the ravens, very unusual, but at least they seem to have dispersed. I don't know what to make of it. I'm going to take a trip to Cleaston Castle to see if Edmund Bishop can shed any light on their behaviour. But first, I would like a vestige, whatever this is. We don't want it spreading. Okay. This oceanic vessel was the Mr. Hungerford with the black eyes, the guy that we gave an oceanic vessel to, I think on day 1. How mysterious. For now though, let's find Verona, her vestige. I can file this away. Put there. Okay, a vestige. The name rings a bell. I think maybe we read it. Yeah, I think we read it when we picked up some extra book content. It can be used to prevent the spread of disease and pestilence. Among other oddities, flames burn pale blue in their presence. I'm wondering if any symbols might help us here. So we don't have an imbuement for disease, although I guess we wouldn't want to imbue the object with disease. Maybe the opposite. Perhaps we'll look for an item with a life imbuement. But I think the main thing is we can take our candle here and hold it above some of these items. See if anything burns blue. Oh, I found one on the very left. Let me just check everything else to be certain. Nothing else is burning blue here, so it must be this item here. Put our book back. Let's do some inspecting. Okay. So the top half is made of stone and the bottom half is made of gold. Wow. With a bit of silver as well and some gold detailing on the top half. There is a blue gemstone, an orange gemstone, a turquoise gemstone, and a green gemstone. It is cool at the top and warm at the bottom, with some raised detailing. There is nothing to remark about the scent or sound, or about my inner perception. So, I think with the fact that our candles burn blue in the presence of this object, I'm pretty confident that it is a vesager. Here you go. Great. Using a candle, I am able to confirm that flames burn blue in its presence. Perfect, perfect. We have a new bit of book content. Moonstone Guardian. For the banishment of Hobbs' fear and Noctic sight, these tend to take the form of a comforting guardian. Very nice. So that is the end of the day, but let me just document our vesager. I think I will give it the icon of life. Oops. There we go. And how about that shape with a nice warm red? It's kind of cold actually. And I'll put it back on our shelf here while we end the day. 2 days earlier, the rider and his fellow adventurer were deep underground, exploring the tunnels below the Kirkhead Tower, when they made a discovery. Their elation at their find would soon turn to horror. And what have we found here? Ooh, is this a key? It is indeed. We have a card with a key on it. After a disagreement between two houses, I was buried behind lock and key. Interesting. I wonder where we're getting this information. It is like a physical item that we have here. I don't know if it's just like a representation of like dreams or something. Or maybe we find it posted through the shop letterbox every morning. Shall we check our map and see if this rings any bells? Between two houses, buried behind lock and key, and lock has an E, so maybe that's the name of someone's shop, or something of the sort. Oh, I have found number 7 on the map is Lock House. And anything with the key, Oh, we also have 13 is Keystone Manor, which are neighboring properties. And our clue said, after a disagreement between two houses, I was buried behind lock and key. Assuming that the front of lock and key would be the road just in front of the houses, maybe we'll be looking in this field just behind it. Oh, perfect, 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 perfect. A large flat slab of granite marks the otherwise empty field. It bears an inscription. On this spot in the year 1813, Arthur Key did shoot and kill the beloved horse of Wellington Lock. Buried at the foot of the slab, I find an unlocked chest containing a handful of legal documents, as well as a pistol and another item that catches my attention. Oh, some kind of pendant. Very dark stone with some small purple gemstones. We'll hang this one up and I'm sure we'll come to use it eventually. I would also just like to have a quick check to see if this symbol means anything to us yet. Looking at this like angular shape, I was thinking maybe it matches up to some of these piers or jetties, or maybe a row of houses. That seems promising. Let's see if we can find a row of houses that matches this shape. I'm looking at these long rows here. We might need to do some rotating in our mind. It's got like a bit sticking out, and a hook. I'm thinking down here on Princess Street. I think that matches up, and we're looking at this house here, just next to the NCE. Let's go ahead and do some investigating. Perfect. There is a narrow gap between the two houses, and I spy a small wooden chest wedged firmly inside. Slowly, I manage to work it loose, and when it finally comes free, it shoots out onto the hard ground and snaps open, revealing its long-hidden treasures. Oh, we've got two interesting-looking items, like a bottle full of liquid with what looks like a luminous hair inside, and we also have another pendant with a couple of gemstones. I'm going to go back to the map one more time. I just wanted to read this note again. It's showing up in my list of documents, of which quite a few have led to something on the map. I don't think that's helpful here. Let's head back. Let's head back and welcome our first visitor of the day. Honestly, we've done so much work already, I can't remember if we've seen anyone. Let's go. Eli White. That's the owner of the shop. Well, the shop is still standing, that's something. Say what you will about Underre, but this town is never quiet for long. I leave for a few days, and suddenly everyone's talking about ravens and curses. I'm going to need to find Verona to get up to speed on what's going on. At least I didn't come away from Ravenglass empty-handed. I can always rely on quiet Susan to unearth an interesting trinket. Or two. What have you got for us, Eli? Oh, some kind of pot with feathers on it. Put that on our shelf. Who's next? Edith Moore. Oh, I'm not a good person. I'm pushing away the only people I care about. Help me do better, please. I have to change, but I don't know how. What do you have that can help me banish my inner demons and make the changes stick this time? This pendant was one that we gave to a different customer who had a friend who was stealing their jewelry. It looks like this is the friend and they have stolen this pendant. If I remember, it enhances feelings of guilt and shame, so this seems about right. We're gonna have to consult the book to find an object that might help them fight their inner demons. I'm thinking of checking the index for... We have demon here, horn shackle, is that it? Perfect. This looks like exactly what we want. The horn shackles are used to bring about change in one's life, bestowing the ability to overcome personal demons. Perfect, and we already already documented the horned shackle. That's the shield charm. That's the poison. That's the Selenic totem. Where have we got it? Here we go, the horned shackle. This is going to be perfect for you, Edith. Great. Perfect. I hope that helps. Who's next? Francesca Robertson is back. The evocant didn't snap Mr. Hungerford out of it, unfortunately. It's strange. At times he appears almost awake, but he's deep in some kind of trance, and I can't get anything out of him. He seems to be searching for something. I'm beginning to suspect this is beyond my skill set, but I'm not willing to give up so easily. I know it's a bad idea, but I'm going to need a sleep vessel to get me through this week. Okay, we're gonna have to consult the book, of course. Okay. Sleep, sleep vessel, sleep vessel. The 6 points of a sleep vessel are said to represent the 6 formic disciplines: Selenic, Dradic, Noctic, Diurnic, Wixic, and Mentic. They help people stay awake beyond any natural limits by storing their fatigue. Over time and repeated use, they become more and more difficult to handle, as though the undreamed nightmares within are beginning to seep out. I wonder if even with a sleep vessel you could stay awake through this video. Hopefully not, if I'm doing my job properly. Okay, so the only helpful clue, I think, is that the sleep vessel has 6 points, and I guess is a container of sorts. Hence the vessel. Let's see if anything matches up here. Well, this has 6 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We checked this before, and this was the one with the symbol. The symbol in the middle, meaning insanity. This also has 6 points. It doesn't look much like a vessel, but I suppose it could still be a vessel for spiritual energy. Anything else? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have another 6-pointed item up there. And this scary looking item down here also has 6 points. So there are a couple here that could be the sleep vessel. Should we check this one first? It's the scariest looking, so I'd like to get it out the way. Okay. It is iron, grey metal flecked with dark red, but it's not rust, it's blood. The substance flakes off and leaves a mark on my fingertips, and there's some raised detailing in the middle. We might be able to check this symbol against our book. Nothing remarkable for the smell. However, it does have an energy about it. Let's check. I'm gonna file this one away. Check our book here. So we've got, it looks like an open eye. Let's see if we can find something in our book for that. We have an eye here, but that one's more rounded. Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? Open eye. symbols that help. This could be the sleep vessel. I'm gonna put it just in front of us here. It does look quite ominous. But I'm gonna quickly check our other 6-pointed items in case they seem more promising. Take this one. This one looks like a charm made of gold and iron with a couple of gemstones. There's a pale yellowy orange one, a black one, and a dark green one. It feels weathered, but the gemstones are hard and cool. Nothing remarkable about the scent or sound. And also nothing remarkable about its spiritual energy that I'm picking up on. I'm going to leave that down here, although the only thing pointing this to be a sleep vessel is the fact that it has 6 points. Dreamed nightmares, beginning to seep out. It did say when I investigated this like pointy crown that we felt an energy that could be the nightmares. What else did we have? We had this one. Let's take a look. So this looks like another kind of charm or necklace. It's made of bronze and iron. It is somewhat painful to the touch. Nothing remarkable about the scent or sound. However, there is a darkness to it, as if it holds untold fears inside. Okay, that is also promising. Undreamed nightmares would match up to that. Let's check this final 6-pointed item. So this is the one made of bronze. I think we investigated this earlier. Cool and smooth with some engraved symbols. No smell and no sound. And there's a sense of crackling energy flickering in the depths of my mind. This is the one with these symbols meaning protection and insanity. Honestly, between these 3 items we found, I think this charm is the most likely to be the sleep vessel. With the kind of scary energy coming out of it from untold fears. I'm gonna try and hand this over. Perfect. Perfect. I'm glad we didn't try and give her that pretty cursed looking crown. The clues for this one were that it has 6 points. And closer inspection reveals the darkness inside. There you go. We have some new content. Resonance compass. A resonance compass will point towards nearby resonant objects, the only objects that can be detected in this way. Resonant objects are highly prized both by thaumaturges and those who collect occult curiosities. Oh, investigating those slightly cursed items spooked me, unsettled me, but I'm very glad I have an absolutely adorable cat here to pet. Who's next? Althea O'Shea. Many years ago I owned a silent breath, but it was already old when I inherited it, and its power died soon after. It's about time I replaced it. Okay, silent breath. Put that back. Oh, I need to mark my my sleep vessel. Let's see what item. I quite like this open eye, symbolizing wakefulness. Oh, do this pointy one here. Sleep. Vessel. Sleep. there is no glory to be had from killing such a noble guardian of the forest. A silent breath contains a small token taken from a living white stag. While the stag lives, the item will retain its power, allowing the bearer to sense danger before it arrives. Okay, so we are going to be looking for an item that looks to have been taken from a living white stag. Of course, we have this clay figurine, but clay doesn't come from stags, so I don't think it's that. Couple of these. I was thinking this branch could be like an old gnarled antler, but I'm not so sure. Potentially, this bottle with a white hair inside could be a hair from a stag. Sounds a bit silly. Sounds a bit silly when I say it out loud. I don't know that stags have hairs that long. But then I've not really been around many. Maybe it's from their tail. Shall we investigate? So, it has a silver top to this bottle, which is made of glass and filled with a blue liquid. It is on a base of iron and wood and silver. The whole thing feels pretty cold, but the wood is polished. There is no scent or sound that comes from it, but it seems to make the hairs stand up on the back of my neck. So that could be promising. That feeling I'm getting could be a sense of danger. Perhaps Althea here is a dangerous individual. Let me just double check in case there are any other items that might have come from a stag. That one is made of clay. That one is made of clay. It's a pendant. I might check this one just in case. It definitely looks like a branch or a tree, but maybe it was like carved from a stag horn. I'm just gonna investigate it. My first finding is that it is made of wood. Not what we're looking for. Well, I think in that case the only item that it could be is this hair in a bottle. I'm not seeing anything else here. Shall we try handing that over? Here you go. Oh, perfect. It was indeed the silent breath. The item features a white hair, a potential trophy from a white stag. On closer inspection, my senses come alive. Some new content. Alpha stone. Alpha stones can be used to relieve the discomfort caused by otherwise incurable ailments, such as praxis or burning blood. The planetary metal used in these items is associated with the Selenic discipline, a connection that is also reflected in their design. Great. Let me document our discovery. This was the silent breath. It was used to sense danger. So I wonder if there is a symbol we could use. We have death, foresight, fear, protection. seems pretty protective. Shall we use the protection symbol? It's this one here. Silent breath. Let's give it that one, and we'll go for that colour. Perfect. Put that back on our shelf, and we will welcome the next visitor. Rufus Shelley. I've always wanted to try a Daedalus link. I have a personal interest in the celestial branch, so I'm not completely new to such things, nor am I ignorant of the risks. And now I have a good reason for it. I need to take care of some roof repairs, and this would seem the safest way to approach it. Perfect. We got the information about the Daedalus link not long ago. This was the object capable of producing a levitation field. They are surprisingly light, but their design may point to some facet of flight, like a feather or the wings of a bird. Right, does anything here match up with that description? We have this bat charm, which I'm not convinced about. And everything on this side. We have this pot filled with feathers, or decorated with feathers. Should we try weighing it? If it's surprisingly light, it could be... well, it's heavier than a pound. It is 2 pounds. It does have feathers on it though, so that could be it. I was thinking this object could have some feathers on it, but they look more like sheaves of wheat, like flower buds or something. I think I will inspect this pot a little more, just in case. Okay, let's take a look. So it's made mostly of green porcelain, with some golden decorations on it. There are some white feathers hanging from it, as well as pale yellowy orange gemstones. The porcelain is cool and smooth, and the feathers are soft. It has a smell like rotten egg. Ugh. And there's nothing remarkable about it when it comes to my perception. Well, I'm not so sure about this one now. Apart from the feathers hanging on it, there's nothing else that suggests it's the Daedalus link. How about this pendant? Is it very heavy? It's lighter than half a pound. It is. It looks like a raven. Let's investigate. It is made from tarnished silver. It has some raised detailing on it. Nothing remarkable about the scent or sound. And my perception isn't picking anything up either. I wonder if when we find the Daedalus link, could we float things on top of it? I don't know how we do that in our shop here. Apart from this one being in the shape of a bird, there's nothing else that suggests it is the Daedalus link. Anything else at all? I mean, this thing is levitating. It doesn't have anything to do with birds or feathers or flight, but it is floating. Can we weigh it? And it weighs about half a pound, so it could be considered surprisingly light. It is made of stone. It vibrates with energy at the top and is rough and pitted toward the bottom. No scent or sound. And at the tip of it, has a pulsating power like a beating heart, but nothing to do with the rest. I mean, the obvious thing about this is that it is levitating, but there's not much else that suggests. I guess it's surprisingly light. And this book says that their designs vary, but they might point to some facet of flight. I suppose we should check this bat pendant. Let's see. It's made of iron mainly, with a black gemstone in the middle. The iron is cool, as well as the gemstone. Oh. Every sound has become both louder and clearer when I'm holding this, but there's nothing to remark about it. My perception. I think we maybe looked at which item that was. I think I remember potentially picking up some extra book content that said something about sound, but I don't think that is the Daedalus link. So I'm not entirely sure. Honestly, I feel like maybe our best bet at the moment is this object that is actually levitating. As funny as that sounds. I wanted to put it on my desk next to the other options. We had this bird, and I'm pretty sure it's not this pot with the rotten egg smell. Exactly half a pound. I think I'm gonna try and hand over this stone. We'll see what he thinks. Here you go. That wasn't the item I'm looking for. I should slow down. Well, I feel like I did take it pretty slow. Is it gonna be this bird then? Of course it's the bird. I shouldn't have doubted myself. The clues that we should have picked up on were that the bird motif is a connection to flight. We did get that one, and using my weighing scales I can confirm that it is very lightweight. I would argue that my feeling is most pendants of this size would be less than half a pound. Was this one made of iron though? Maybe that should have been the deciding factor. Anyway, we did manage to find it in the end. And we have some more book content. Is that a C? Is this Cussick Purifier? A small topaz gemstone known as the Eye is placed in a strong-smelling liquid, usually some potent barley spirit or vinegar. Small tokens, such as rings or amulets perhaps, submerged in the liquid and left for a full cycle of the moon, are cleansed of simple imbued curses or hexes. Of course, there is a limit to the effectiveness of this process. And we can mark this as the Daedalus link. What icon? Maybe the icon for air, like flight. call the next visitor, Edmund Bishop. The ravens are back, I see. Looks like it's going to be worse this time. After speaking to Verona, I've come to extend an open invitation to visit Gleaston Castle. My family has lived there for generations, and I know there are artifacts that would be of use to you, gathering dust in hidden corners. All I ask is that you stay out of the south tower and the master bedroom. And run anything you find by me first, of course. That sounds like a very, very generous invitation. He's given us a letter. Here's something to get you started. Walk past the main staircase and turn left. Follow that corridor down to the end and go through the door to the left. There is a small plinth in the corner of that room with an item on it that you are welcome to. I never did like it anyway, Edmund. And we have a map. A map of Gleaston Castle. How interesting, how interesting. There are a bunch of symbols here that are very interesting as well. The map of Underre, of course. Let me finish up for the day though. We can shut up shop. I'm gonna put this map in our map drawer and I'll put the letter next to it. Perfect. Let's end the day. At the end of a long passageway, after days spent clearing away dangerous rockfalls, the duo came upon a chamber. In it, they found a small stone tomb, too small to contain human remains. And what have we got here? Oh, just a small one. A little square. It's a cutout though. We could overlay this with a map, see if anything comes up. However, I think this is a perfect place. A perfect place to call it for now. But I have very much enjoyed my time running Strange Antiquities. And I hope that you've enjoyed it too. Let me know, because I would absolutely love to play some more of this game for you. But at the very least, I hope you found this video relaxing